all. I thought it might be a great idea to give you guys some tips on how to help satisfy your sweet tooth craving with foods that actually have some nutrient value instead of Oreos, which don't, which sometimes those are good to have because sometimes you just want them. So what I have here is kind of a cool idea, I thought, and I would give the person credit except I forget where I got it from. But essentially it's banana pudding. So if you see in here, what I have is 2 bananas, which are a pretty decent source of fiber and, as we all know, potassium. And I have a tablespoon of cocoa powder or cacao powder. Really beneficial, has some phytochemicals called epicatechins. Say that 5 times. But anyhow, they're really great at dilating your blood vessels and making them very fluid, which is important to get blood flow to all of your tissues and organs. I decided to add a tablespoon of nut butter in there. So that's beneficial too, because we know that has some unsaturated fats and a decent amount of protein. I just did a teaspoon of honey to kind of sweeten it up. And really all you have to do is, and I started mashing the bananas initially because I don't want to waste your time with me mashing them, but you just mash this up. Okay, so it's a little messy, but it's kind of cool. You'll be a little surprised here. And you can add whatever you want with this. You could add coconut, you could add different fruit on the top to top it, some nuts. And then also, you don't have to add nut butter. You could definitely add almond butter or something nice. And then what I like to put on the top, so this is kind of a chunky version because I didn't get to spend too much time making it a little less chunky. But if you put a tablespoon of hemp hearts, 1 to 2 tablespoons, depending on what you like, then you're amping up the protein value and giving a little extra omega-3. So boom, there's a banana chocolate pudding. Voila. The next one, try not to roll your eyes, but I call it a dietitian's cheesecake. I know, it's corny, but it's a play on cheesecake essentially. Big fan of Icelandic yogurt. This one is my favorite, but as you can see, it's gone, so my son ate it. If you're vegan, you can always use a different version. And the reason why I'm a fan of the Icelandic yogurt, so I have some Trader Joe's version that's pretty good, is 1, it's very firm, kind of like cheesecake, so similar to Greek yogurt, pretty high in protein, decent source of calcium, but it only has about 5 grams of added sugars. Same with Icelandic and Siggy's as well, so that's a win-win. So a little bit lower in sugar, so here's your cheesecake part. And then I like to use flax meal. That's a play on your graham cracker crust. So I prefer the golden flax meal. It's a little less bitter than regular, but if you can't find it and you're limited in that, that's fine. 1 to 2 tablespoons on here, and it's a great source of omega-3s right here. So here's your graham cracker crust, and then I just take some organic cherries and I heat them up, and then you toss it, oh yeah, messy, on here like that. So clearly I need a spoon. You can get one of those, and you pour it on top. So you can put more cherries on there, but if you see, and maybe from this side you can see, but it's also like a cherry cheesecake. It's actually really good. I get a good response from my patients. And it's a good source of calcium, 6 grams of fiber, and it has the omega-3s and anthocyanins, which are good for anti-inflammatory properties. So win-win there. Chia pudding. All right, so you either love it or you hate it, and it's all about the consistency. Kind of reminds me of how people feel about cottage cheese. So it's a 1/4 cup chia seeds. It's really a no-brainer dessert. And if you're not sure if you like it, give it a try. It's not very hard to make, and if you happen to have these in your refrigerator, it's not hard. So you just fill it up. I like to use this almond milk, Califia, one of my favorites. It's unsweetened vanilla. I love vanilla anything, and it's fortified with calcium. So you're getting a good dose of calcium here, about 400 milligrams, 12 grams of fiber, some potassium, and then of course omega-3s as well. And I'm gonna take the berries and toss them in here, but first I'm gonna stir it. And then you toss berries in here. I like raspberries, I love blackberries. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so kind of have to. And then you put a lid on this and toss it in the fridge. It only needs to be in the fridge about 3 to 5 hours. And then you have your pudding. And we're talking about 130 calories-ish here. So pretty low calorie. One theme across here is omega-3, decent amount of fiber, decent amount of protein, and at the same time, they're all soft desserts. So when you eat something after dinner, if you keep it soft versus crunchy, you won't get that hedonistic effect where you want to keep eating. All right, tips for desserts today. See you later.